Welcome to this explainer. Okay, listen, if you're over 50 and you wake up every single morning feeling somehow heavier than you did when you went to bed, you absolutely need to hear this. You know that exact feeling, right? Your stomach feels kind of puffy, your energy is just completely flat before the day even starts, and it feels like no matter what you do, that scale just stubbornly refuses to budge. Well, today we're going to unpack exactly why that's happening, and more importantly, look at how to fix it before you even pour your morning coffee.
It's incredibly frustrating, isn't it? I mean, you might be eating way less, you're trying to squeeze in more exercise, you're relying heavily on sheer willpower, and yet, the belly fat just stays put. It honestly feels like your body is fighting against you, especially after hitting that 50-year milestone. But here's the thing I really want you to take away. Your willpower is not the problem here. Your age isn't some life sentence to a permanently slow metabolism, and you are absolutely not broken.
Actually, scratch all that diet guilt. The real culprit isn't your diet at all. It's a hidden morning hormone spike. Most people are waking up and doing the exact opposite of what they should be doing without even realizing it. And that one little mistake, it's literally keeping your fat storage switch jammed in the on position before your feet even hit the floor. So let's dive into the research, because it reveals a super simple 3-minute, equipment-free morning solution that targets this invisible biological culprit directly.
To really understand how to fix this, we first have to understand the foundation: insulin resistance. As we age, our cells gradually become a bit less sensitive to insulin. That's the hormone that manages the sugar in your blood. Your body is still pumping the insulin out, but your cells just aren't really listening anymore. So what does your body do? It panics a bit and produces even more insulin to just force the job done. And all that excess insulin, it tells your body to store fat, specifically around the belly, totally locking you into fat storage mode.
Now, here is where it gets really interesting. This whole process actually starts while you're unconscious. Your body doesn't just start fresh the second you open your eyes. Notice this timeline. In those final hours of your sleep, right up to your waking moment, and through your first 30 to 60 minutes awake, your body kicks off a very specific, powerful hormonal cascade. That morning window right there, it sets the entire metabolic stage for your day.
During that exact timeline we just talked about, two big things happen: the cortisol awakening response and the dawn phenomenon. Now, this is a completely natural spike in your stress and wake-up hormone, cortisol. I mean, it's supposed to happen to get you out of bed. But when cortisol spikes, it signals your liver to just dump a bunch of glucose right into your blood. So your blood sugar goes up and your pancreas pumps out insulin to deal with it, all before you've even taken a single bite of food. Crazy, right?
And here is exactly where we sabotage ourselves. Think about a typical morning. You roll out of bed, maybe you immediately start scrolling on your phone, feeling kind of stressed about the day's news or emails. You grab a sugary coffee and you sit right back down. Every single one of those choices amplifies that natural insulin spike. The stress pushes cortisol even higher, the sugar crashes the glucose cycle, and sitting just keeps your muscles totally dormant. By 8 a.m., your fat storage switch is fully engaged. But an optimized morning interrupts this chain of events entirely.
Section 1. The over 50 fat trap. 4 major shifts. Before we get to that optimized routine, we really need to look at exactly why this morning hormone cascade hits folks in their 50s, 60s, and 70s so much harder than younger adults.
There are basically 4 major metabolic shifts happening in your body right now. First up, muscle loss. After 40, we lose about 1 to 2% of our muscle mass every year, and muscles are your primary glucose disposal system. Less muscle literally means more sugar staying stuck in the blood. Second, mitochondrial decline. This just means your cells get a little less efficient at burning fat and rely way more on glucose. Third, sleep changes. We tend to get less deep sleep, which absolutely tanks our insulin sensitivity. And finally, hormonal drops, like estrogen dropping in women and testosterone in men, which negatively impact how your body handles sugar. See, your metabolism isn't broken, it's just operating under these new rules.
Just to highlight how incredibly sensitive this new system is, consider this number: 20 to 30%. That is how much just one single night of poor, non-restorative sleep can raise your fasting insulin the very next day. Wow. It creates this vicious cycle where high insulin disrupts your sleep, which then turns around and raises your insulin even further.
Okay, moving on to Section 2, the 3-minute morning protocol. Break the cycle. So how do we actually intercept that massive morning insulin spike? Well, this is exactly what you need to do tomorrow morning before you even think about breakfast.
The best part?
This protocol requires absolutely zero equipment. You can literally do it in your bedroom or your hallway in your pajamas. It has 3 distinct steps that target that hormonal cascade at its absolute source: muscle activation, cortisol regulation, and cellular hydration. Let's break down exactly what you'll be doing for each of these 3 minutes.
Minute 1 is all about waking up your body's glucose disposal system. The moment you wake up, before you check your phone, do 10 slow bodyweight squats. Just go as low as is comfortable. Then do 10 standing marches, lifting your knees up to about hip height. Finally, 10 gentle calf raises. And that's it. You shouldn't be sweating or breathing heavily. This isn't some crazy morning boot camp. You're just engaging those large muscle groups for 60 seconds.
And here is the absolutely crucial scientific point. Muscles can absorb blood sugar without insulin. It's like a sponge. When your muscles contract, they suck the glucose right out of your bloodstream. So, by doing just 60 seconds of light movement, you immediately start clearing that morning blood sugar spike and lowering your body's demand for insulin, all before you've eaten a single calorie.
All right, now for minute 2. You've activated the muscles, so now we need to calm that cortisol. Remember, your stress hormone is naturally spiking right now. The fastest, most scientifically backed way to drop it is box breathing. It's super simple. You breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold it at the top for 4, breathe out through your mouth for 4, and hold empty for 4. Repeat that whole cycle 4 times. This specific breathing pattern activates your vagus nerve. It physically shifts you from a stress state right into a calm state, dropping cortisol, decreasing inflammation, and improving insulin sensitivity pretty much instantly.
The final 60 seconds is the hydration protocol. When you wake up, you're naturally mildly dehydrated, which actually thickens your blood and spikes cortisol even further. Yikes! So pour 16 ounces of room temperature water, but here's the trick. Add either a 1/4 teaspoon of real sea salt or a nice squeeze of fresh lemon. The salt ensures your aging cells actually absorb the water rather than it just running straight through you. The lemon helps alkalinize your system to support those insulin receptors. Sip it slowly over a minute. Whatever you do, don't just chug it.
After those 3 quick minutes, your insulin system is totally primed in the exact right direction. In fact, research indicates that addressing your muscle glucose uptake, your cortisol, and your cellular hydration simultaneously in the morning can help lower insulin levels up to 6 times faster than simply skipping breakfast alone. 6 times! This is a massive paradigm shift. A lot of folks rely on intermittent fasting alone to control their insulin. And look, fasting is great because it gives your digestion a well-needed break. But fasting alone, it completely misses the morning cortisol spike, it misses the cellular dehydration, and it leaves your muscles inactive. If you just skip breakfast but lay in bed doom scrolling, your fat storage switch is still partially slipped on. Adding this 3-minute habit makes fasting exponentially more effective, or at the very least just prepares your body beautifully for a normal breakfast. Which brings us to section 3, the golden rule of breakfast. Prime your metabolism. Because while those 3 minutes perfectly prime your system, your first meal dictates your metabolic momentum for the next 12 to 14 hours.
So here is the golden rule, bold and clear. Protein and fat before carbohydrates. Always. If your first meal is toast, cereal, or even fruit, those carbs convert to glucose instantly, triggering a massive immediate insulin spike that totally undoes all your hard work and signals your body to store fat. But if you eat protein and healthy fats first, you blunt that insulin response, you trigger fat-burning hormones, and you protect that precious muscle mass we talked about earlier.
You don't need some complicated, stressful meal plan. You just need to be strategic. Here are some perfect, easy examples of what to eat after your 3-minute habit. 2 or 3 eggs cooked in olive oil. Delicious. Half an avocado, which gives you great fiber and potassium. Maybe a small handful of walnuts or almonds. And pair the whole shebang with black coffee or green tea, which actually have compounds that actively support insulin sensitivity. It's simple, it's effective, and it's totally manageable.
I want to leave you with this really empowering quote from the explainer today. Your metabolism is not your enemy. It's just operating in a system that no one ever explained to you. Isn't that a relief? You are not failing. You just didn't have the playbook for how your body's hormones shift after 50. But now you know exactly how that system responds when you finally give it the right signals.
So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Will you take just 3 minutes tomorrow morning to change the signals you send to your body? 60 seconds of light movement, 60 seconds of calming breathing, 60 seconds of strategic hydration. It costs absolutely nothing, requires zero equipment, and it might just be the exact key to finally flipping your fat storage switch back to the off position. Give it a shot tomorrow morning and let your body do the rest.